Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Panic at the Disco. Getting back together for the When We Were Young Festival. We have that in an hour. Fest. Coming up with Q101 to send you there with an exclusive trip. And then we get Riot Fest tickets also just for qualifying. This is the last week, one of your last chances to be here. Make sure you're here at 8 o'clock. And in just 10 minutes, Bad Flower, the guaranteed entry passes for our free Q101 pop-up. That is tomorrow night at the Cubby Bear. But let's get right to sports. A lot going on.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, the Cubs playing the worst team in baseball on pace to break the White Sox worst team in baseball history record from last year. But they had to go extra innings to win, and the Rockies went ahead in the 11th, but then the walk-off. You had Michael Busch and Matt Shaw hit run-scoring singles in the 11th inning, and of course, here's what the walk-off sounded like. It was glorious.
The other way, a little flare. Birdie around third. Matt Shaw, your hero. Ball game. Cubs win.
There's your blooper to right.
Walk it off.
Walk it off. That's a great call.
He's fantastic.
Oh, he's amazing. Great game. That led to the Rockies, their 21st consecutive series loss.
Ooh.
Yeah, series loss.
That's a bummer.
And Chicago's won 9 of 11, and the Rockies fall to 9-46 on pace. Did the math beforehand so we didn't get caught in a conundrum here. 27 and 135. That's the pace they're on. To remind you, the White Sox won 41 last year to be the worst team in baseball history. Rockies are on pace at 27. And Case is the White Sox fan here. Actually upset the record may only last one season.
I just want the White Sox to hold it for a little bit longer.
A little longer would have been nice.
And I think for as good as the top-end teams in baseball are right now, it's, MLB is very healthy in terms of live attendance and TV ratings and things like that. I don't want there to be the back-to-back worst teams in history. I think that'd be a bad look for baseball.
As much as the stats we talked about weekly with the White Sox, Colorado is 0-18 in series this season, and they lost the last 3 in 2024. And the Rockies exceeded the 20 straight loss series by the Chicago White Sox last year already. So they've already done that. It's not even June yet.
Great.
Pretty nice. Let's get back to the Cubs for a second with a fun fact. The 2025 Cubs have scored 324 runs in 54 games. That's pacing to be the first MLB team to average 6+ runs per game since the 2000 White Sox.
The 2000 White Sox?
The 2000 White Sox did that. Go back and check, but that's the stat. That's the first NL team to do it since the 1953 Dodgers.
Oh.
I don't know if you want to go back to them. That's a ways back.
That was quite the team.
So the Rockies are at the Cubs one more tonight. Getting to the White Sox. By the way, the Cubs, Seiya Suzuki named NL Player of the Week. How about that? For the second time in his 4-year MLB career, the outfielder and DH, Seiya Suzuki, was named the National League Player of the Week, going 12 for 25 with 3 home runs, 4 doubles, 4 walks, alongside 10 RBIs last week.
Wow.
That's what he did last week. Pretty nice. Pretty good. White Sox lost to the Mets 6-4. Not much else there. I don't know what else to say there.
Turn off.
They got one more at noon today. I could talk about the minor trade they made, but
No, why bother?
Why bother?
Come on now.
Let's get
What'd they trade?
What did they trade?
Yeah, what did they do?
They look to upgrade at catcher behind starter Danny Jensen. The Rays now. This is the Rays, by the way. Got Matt Thies from the White Sox in exchange for outfield prospect Drew Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Feel better? Got that information now?
Kenzie, break it down for me. What do you think?
What do you think? How do you feel about that trade, Kenzie?
I don't know. I feel like they need more important things than the catcher right now.
Well, they need everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that was so hurtful to hear.
I mean, everybody, according to what they said, needs to play better.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they have this year played better. Sometimes they played worse. We're still early in the season.
Because, how do you feel about their pitching, Case?
I don't love it.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Don't you think that, let's get someone who can throw the ball before we get someone who catches it? I don't know. That's just how I operate.
The thing with the White Sox pitching this year is I actually don't hate their starting rotation. Now, look, it could be better, but I don't hate their starting rotation. It's the bullpen. It's the fact that late in the game, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, no matter how many runs the White Sox are up, I do not trust anybody that comes out of that bullpen to record 3 outs and not give up any runs.
Yeah, they're looking, when they get a catcher, they're also looking for someone that can maybe hit and get some runs on the board, too.
Would be nice.
It'd be nice. That's the benefit of just a guy that throws.
Yeah, would be cool. I love it. I love it.
Unless you're Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, well, he's not on the White Sox.
And they said, quote, we're not going to get in that business when he was available. meaning to spend $1 billion to get a player that's a
We're not gonna
generational.
get that business. You're in baseball.
Yeah, that's the
Wait,
business you're
hold
in.
on. You're already here.
Yep.
That is so disappointing.
Spending money sounds terrible. The White Sox have one more at noon today against the Mets. Now, maybe more important last night, the Pacers, Game 4 versus the Knicks. Tyrese Halliburton, triple-double, a historic triple-double he had. After the night before, when they lost Game 3, and he vowed to be aggressive. He put it on himself for losing that game. Boy, was he. Historic triple-double, 32 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds, without committing a turnover. That's never happened since they started doing the stats. It's never happened, a triple-double like that and not a turnover, and that's according to ESPN research. But a pretty awesome game, up 3-1 case. Your Pacers, your home state Pacers, could take it in New York.
I'm losing my mind right now. This is, 2005 White Sox World Series. I was obviously very excited, but very young. 2006 Bears Super Bowl. Not a high point in my life. The Devin Hester kick return, obviously very nice, but
It seems impossible to lose a Super Bowl when you run back the kickoff for a touchdown. Yeah. But I'm not going to get angry about it right now. Thanks for bringing that up.
Hey, I didn't like it either. Okay,
it doesn't matter. They won. You won. Not you won. I don't think you're a Colts. You grew up a Colts fan, I'm sure.
I was rooting for the Bears actually. But it's been a while since I've been able to see a championship trophy raised in my lifetime, and realizing now that the Pacers are 5 wins away from being NBA champion, and the fact that they could beat the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. I speak to all of my people in the region, all of my people throughout the Hoosier State. There is just something about being from Indiana that causes people to underestimate you. They don't take you seriously. They don't see greatness in you. And to be able to beat the stinking Knicks in the conference finals, it would be one of the high points of my life, and I say that in sincerity. I've been a Pacers fan since the day I've been on this earth. We've had a lot of great teams over the years, but we're 5 wins away from an NBA championship, and God, I'm excited about it.
Game 4, Thursday night, New York.
I'm going to make a request to the Bad Flower team. I don't know if they're listening right now, but Josh from Bad Flower, if you could have the Pacers game projected behind you while you're on stage at the Cubby Bear, greatly appreciated. The Bad Flower guys don't seem like sports guys necessarily.
I don't know.
Maybe for one night they are.
I thought you were going to wish food poisoning on him again so the show gets canceled so you can watch it in peace like that would happen at Twist. I thought that's where you were going with that.
The last time Bad Flower was in Chicago, they ended up in the hospital. I would like for that to not happen again.
I don't know. Doesn't sound like it.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. That's what it'll sound like tomorrow night. Free at the Cubby Bear. The Q101 free pop-up with Bad Flower. And remember, Brian Phillips will be broadcasting live at the Cubby Bear from 3 to 7 p.m. tomorrow. Before the show, meet some adoptable dogs from the MCP Chicago Rescue and Outreach. They'll be at Vines on Clark from 4 to 6, which is right next door. Vines is just south of the Cubby Bear on the same side of the street. Get your limited edition Q101 Bad Flower Paws shirt for just $20 with proceeds benefiting MCP Chicago.
Aww.
I know, the little doggies and cats, Rescue and Outreach. So do that tomorrow when you're pre-gaming for Bad Flower. And if you get guaranteed entry right now, beating Kenzie in trivia, well, you're there. Guaranteed. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. Cherville, you come all the way in. You got your VIP. You kind of walk right in. You've got that guaranteed entry. And we say that it's free. You don't need guaranteed entry to be there, but it helps. So 312-591-8300. Call right now for your chance to compete against Kenzie in trivia. We had to punt yesterday because the phones crashed, but we're doing it today. Here we go. 312-591-8300. Call right now.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Klash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin.
Q101.
Boy, is it nice hearing that intro. Yesterday, the phone system, y'all shut it down by trying to get through, and it broke. It all broke. But we're back today. Perfect for Bad Flower. Tomorrow night, the Q101 free pop-up at the Cubby Bear. You can be there. You can just come, but guaranteed entry, well, you know what that does. Makes you like a VIP on the Brian and Kenzie VIP list. You walk right in. Don't worry about a line. And Maura checking in to compete against Kenzie in trivia. Maura, ahoy. Tell us something about yourself.
Ahoy. Well, Brian, I'm a special education teacher at Crete High School in Crete, Illinois, and I'm loving what I'm doing 21 years.
Oh, 21 years. Wow.
Great.
Wow.
I gotta try to beat her. She's so nice. Well, you're going down.
Kenzie, you got this.
God, Kenzie, you're so evil.
Oh, God, she's so nice.
You got this saint on one side, you see. Like it's a
Oh,
devil.
You're too kind, Brian.
I don't know if I'm the devil. I think that's far. Like,
Now, there's a devilish vibe. I don't know what it is.
No,
I may not
no.
be an angel, but I'm not sure if I'm quite the devil.
No, how dare you say devilish? It's the devil. She's the devil.
The devil.
All right, here we go. Maura, first one to 5 wins. Listen carefully. If Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same to you. Call heads or tails, Maura.
Heads.
That's tails.
Ah, damn. Thanks.
See what the devil does? Can control the coin.
I cannot control the coin.
All right, Kenzie, question number 1. What is the name of the cord joining a mother and her unborn child? What is that called?
What is the name of what?
The cord joining a mother and her unborn child. What's that called? That cord.
The chord. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you mean, like a guitar chord?
Is that your answer? Officially, the guitar chord is not right. It's not that. Maura?
Umbilical cord.
The umbilical cord.
Oh my God. I did
you,
not
Kenzie.
understand what that question meant.
Yeah, you knew that. You knew that.
Can you tell it's been a week and a half since Kenzie's had to play trivia?
I literally said when Casey, I'm like, oh, good, the phones are working. I can't wait to do trivia.
You see, when you had your baby a little while ago, a year and a half ago, they said, we're going to cut the umbilical cord right now. And you probably went like, I need water. I need something. You were screaming. You probably didn't hear
No,
them.
actually, I have pictures of my husband doing it. And he's legitimately has his teeth clenched. So he's like, ugh. Like, and they're the funniest photos. I zoom in all the time.
You thought he was cutting some pasta or something?
Because he kept going, can you feel it? Is it going to hurt? And they're like, no. And he goes, but I'm putting scissors on. Like, he thought that I was all of a sudden going to scream bloody murder in pain. He was so concerned.
That's fair. I get that. Also, it's 1-0, and it's back to Maura.
Maura, let's go. Maura, your first question. A haircut in which both sides of the head are shaven, leaving a strip of noticeably longer hair in the center, is called what?
A mohawk.
A mohawk is right. Longest question ever.
Good Lord, get to it.
I love the description of a mohawk. I've never described one.
I know.
It's awesome.
That's a good question.
All right, back to Kenzie.
And she has 0 points.
Kenzie, what is the term for a wolf's home? Even more, I think that's funny.
Well, I don't know. I'm assuming a den. Like this one.
A den is right. That's
Lions
a wolf's home.
have it. Okay.
Yeah, wolves have a den too. They have a nice little lamp in there.
Little man cave action.
Got some old books in the
They
wall.
usually prefer grandma's house, if you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
All right, 2-1 back to Maura.
Maura, who said, I'm the president of the USA and I'm not going to eat any more broccoli? Which president said that? I'm not going to eat any more broccoli. I'm president.
George W. II.
George W. II is not right. So George, she said the other Bush. Kenzie, who is it?
It was George H.W. Bush.
H.W. Bush didn't like broccoli. I know.
Ah.
I know.
The whole family's good for quotes. Never a shortage.
2-2.
And back to Kenzie. She can take the lead.
Kenzie.
Oh, no.
What White Sox player and Nugenics spokesman was nicknamed the Big Hurt? The Big Hurt.
Oh, what's his name?
Uh-huh. More known for Nugenics now, which is really wild.
I'm trying to think of his first name. His last name's Thomas.
And the ladies will love it, too.
Frank.
Frank Thomas is right. The ladies will
Thomas, but it's not the first name.
I stood next to him at a bar one time. He is enormous.
Big guy.
He's huge.
Yeah, and that was
bet
before
he
he was on
is.
eugenics, yeah.
You could be too.
And the ladies will love it, too. Let's see. Back to
Maura, 3-2. She needs a point.
Staying with sports, Maura, how many games must you win in a 7-game series to win the series?
4.
4 is right. No hesitation. 3-3. Got a ball game here.
Love it. Back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, Poseidon is the Greek god of what?
Well, I gotta be careful here.
I don't know. If you, do you?
What, are you going to swear?
No, because... no, because...
What are you being careful about?
Because I always jump to it.
Oh, think about it for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So Poseidon is the Greek god of what? I need an answer. 3, 2.
Like the ocean?
Will we accept that case?
I don't think so.
Well, let's see what Maura says. Maura, what do you say?
The sea.
Yeah.
So the C is what we were looking for. Now Kenzie's going to be pissed off that we
Why
didn't give
doesn't
her the
that
point.
count?
Because the C, because that's what historically it says, the sea. They don't say he's the Greek god of the ocean. They don't say that historically. They say the sea.
I just Googled it. I said, is the sea the ocean? Which made me feel stupid typing that in.
What did it say?
Well, obviously they're two different. Okay, I'm not doing this.
What did it
didn't say
say?
a lake.
Google says, no, the sea is not the ocean, but rather a part of it. So we're looking specifically for he is the Greek god of the sea.
Because I just picture it
Type
weird.
in, is Poseidon also in charge of oceans? Because it could be like on his resume,
On his
ocean,
LinkedIn.
sea, some lakes.
I picture Poseidon going into a bar. They say, who are you? I look over the oceans. They go, what? I'm the Greek god of the sea. And they go, oh.
You should have said that first.
I know, oceans, like,
Lakes.
sometimes I have to explain what a sea is and it gets confusing.
They go, it's the ocean, right? I go, no, it's actually
Yeah.
just part of the ocean.
I just want a White Claw. That's all I want.
All right, it's 4-3. It's back to Maura. She can win with a correct answer.
Okay, Maura, here you go.
No pressure.
What is at an average distance of 238,857 miles from the Earth?
The sun.
The sun is wrong.
Oh.
Kenzie, do you know?
Can I get the number?
238,008. What do you put it in Google Maps? 238.
Can I get the longitude?
Hey.
238,857 miles from the Earth on average. What is that?
I don't know. She said sun. I'll go moon.
Moon's a good answer.
Okay.
Moon is right.
Oh.
I know.
Good job.
Yeah, sun's way farther. So now
It's kind of like an ocean sea scenario.
the moon is in the sea of the sun.
Well, Sea of Tranquility.
Yeah.
50-50 chance.
It's not the ocean of tranquility.
Amen, brother. If I had a nickel. 4-4, and it's back to Kenzie.
Oh, Kenzie can win now with this one. What American war ended on September 3rd, 1783? Which war ended then, Kenzie?
Well, this is going to be wait, what was the year?
I don't want to say it again.
You
Okay.
have to.
That's part of the quote. What?
1783. What war ended on September 3rd, 1783?
Okay, so,
Using your deductive logic.
well, I don't think it's either the War Worlds, which is what War of the World.
War of the Worlds. That was aliens.
It's none of those.
Okay.
Not the aliens, not Russia. I would say, and it's not civil. I would say revolutionary.
Wow, Revolutionary War is right.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, she could have the tickets because, good Lord, she's helping people every day. I'm not.
Yeah, well, the devil, the angel and saints. All right, Maura, you're going anyway. How about that?
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're doing the good work out there for 21 years, special ed teacher, you said?
Going into 22.
Oh, boy, it's
And
amazing.
I love what I do every day, and I was a cop before that.
Wow.
Good heavens.
You've done some stuff.
She's
I love it.
slammed.
Yeah. Well, then you deserve a night off, and you deserve to walk into the Cubby Bear tomorrow night, guaranteed entry, and, not have that line. So you have it. Guaranteed entry to the Q101 pop-up with Bad Flower tomorrow, Maura. You are going.
Thank you so much. I can't wait.
Oh, thank you so much. Stay tuned for more. And remember, Brian Phillips broadcasting live from 3 to 7 tomorrow. All the information at Q101.com about how to adopt a doggy while you're out there as well. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.